Welcome to the Better Together podcast. I'm your host, Kyla, and as you can see, we have a beautiful, lovely guest. One of my best friends in the entire world, Ipek. Say hello.
Hello, everyone.
Ipek was on in the first season. And it was an audio-only episode. It was before I did visuals. So this is what Ipek looks like in real life, and she's amazing.
That's what I look like.
Ipek, how did we meet?
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
Big question.
Yeah, big question.
We met through not common friends. We met through our exes.
Yes.
They're not friends anymore.
Yeah, they don't like each other.
We're not with them anymore. But here we are.
But we're still together.
It's been 6 years. 5 years?
6 years since we've been friends.
It feels more, but...
Yeah. But 6 years is a pretty long time, though, too.
It is.
It is.
Especially, like, in, 20s.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot happened.
Yeah.
We had...
She got a nose ring.
I got a nose ring. But
no, we've been through a lot together.
Yeah. We had different phases in life for sure in the last 6 years. A lot of phases.
Yes. And we are our best selves right now.
True.
Because of Zoloft and Prozac.
Thanks to Selves and Prozac. One of my friends actually produces Selves.
Are you what does that mean to produce it?
Like, she's a chemical engineer, and she literally
makes it.
Makes it.
That's crazy.
And I texted her today. I was like, thank you.
I need to find someone who produces Prozac so I can text them and be like, thank you so much. Okay. So today we're going to be doing what I call Letter to Our Past Selves. And this is part 1. There's going to be a part 2, which is going to be Letter to Our Future Selves. But this is going to be Letter to Our Past Selves. And what I mean by letter is we didn't write out like letters beforehand. We're just going to be asking each other questions, answering the questions, and it's going to be kind of like a visual journal or, just like an out loud recorded
audios to a past self.
Yes. And these questions we're just going to answer we've looked at these questions, of course, before, but we haven't answered them. So they're just going to be really candid, and yeah, that's that. So I think I'll start off by asking you questions.
Sounds good.
Okay, and then I'll answer after you answer.
Okay.
So the first question is, what's one thing she was carrying alone that you now realize was too heavy?
Yeah. It's the question, like the word alone is already heavy. I feel like you would probably relate to this, but I'm very hyper independent person.
Yeah.
It's probably because that I'm the only child, and like I had to do a lot of things alone without thinking that, it was an abnormal thing. I just did it that way. And I realized that I don't have to be that independent literally this year. That, yeah, I can be independent, but like I can still connect to people and ask for help when I need it. And the more I shared about what I went through with others, the lighter it felt. And yeah, I would wanna, if I can talk to my past self, I would definitely wanna tell her that you definitely don't need to hide things that you're going through, because when you share it, you're not even, asking for help. You're just making yourself feel a little bit less lonely.
Yeah.
And yeah, one thing that she was carrying alone, I feel like, I don't know, bad things that happen to her. Because first, you don't want to feel needy.
Yeah.
I didn't want to feel needy, and I didn't want to, I don't know, feel like I needed help. But just sharing your truth and trusting people. That's the other thing. When you are hiding things from people, it means that you don't necessarily trust people around you. That can, I don't know.
And you're so used to doing things on your own.
Yeah, it's normal.
Because,
it's the normal thing for you.
Right.
I think that actually happens not on your own. I feel like I don't know, meeting the right people, like trusting that you will meet the right people, right friends like yourself is, definitely trust people around you, trust your gut for that, and then share your experiences with people. It's gonna feel a little bit
less alone.
Yeah, lighter.
I feel like the one thing that my little self was carrying alone was like this weight of having to be perfect and like things needing to be like, if I was doing something, whether it was something creative or something that like was through my schooling and like educational or like being a friend or whatever it was, I needed to master. I needed to be a master at it. I couldn't just be like, I'm gonna try this thing, and if
casually,
I can't do anything. I couldn't do anything casually, and it would stress me out so much because I always thought, okay, well, I need to be the very best at this, and everybody needs to recognize that, and this is gonna be the thing that like makes me successful. And as I've gotten older, and especially like now, I'm like, it's really important to make mistakes. It's really important to fail at things. It's really important to just like put yourself out there and do things that you're interested in without having an end goal all the time, and like without having to try to be the best at it, but just like doing it because you feel like it. You don't, the point.
And then eventually you become the best at it anyway because you really let yourself.
Yes, you naturally, like doing things naturally.
The blockage disappears.
Yes, exactly.
When you just let yourself.
Exactly. So I think my thing was like always feeling like I had to be super perfect at something. And I feel like in the last few years, I've kind of let that perfectionist, I'm still quite a perfectionist, I'm still very type A, but I've let that piece go where there's a part of me that always feels like I have to be the very best at something, and just kind of try to go with the flow more and not burn myself so.
Did you realize you started more new things when you changed your perception of it?
Yeah, and that's a very new thing too. I feel like, but yeah, and just feeling like less stress about trying new things or doing things that are more outside of the box that I wouldn't necessarily do before, things like that. So yeah. Okay, if you could sit next to her in silence, what would you want to feel from you? Looks like that.
What would you want her to feel from you? That's such a nice question. I think trust, hope, I don't know, the ideals she's putting herself are, she's gonna get there, just trusting that. And even if it feels like she's not there, trusting that she actually is in some ways. But yeah, that was a good question.
I feel like if I could sit next to my self, what would I want her to feel from me? I picture like a very little girl version of me being very afraid and very anxious to speak her own voice, and unable to like let out what she's really feeling. So I feel like I would want her to feel like comfort and confidence and an ease in her physical body to be able to truthfully say, I feel very anxious right now. I feel very afraid right now. I feel like I want help right now, but was unable to like ask for those things, was unable to express those things very fully. So I would want her to feel at ease.
Safe.
Yeah,
Safe
exactly.
and courageous.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. What fear or pressure do you want to lift off her shoulders?
Wow. This is very basic, but like, she does not have to figure it all out. She can chill. Especially, I don't need to go back to even, my childhood and really young version of myself. But even the times that we met, 23, 24, you're 24-year-old. Of course, you're not going to have anything figured out yet. And again, very recently, I realized that the things that I thought I was not, getting anywhere with were the things that were actually taking me to the places that I like kind of feel comfortable right now. And to her, like 6 years before from now, she felt like she was wasting her time and she wasn't really.
You felt that a few months ago.
True. This is a very recent thing.
Yeah.
And I know, like, a few months from now, even, like, I'm about to be 30. Like, in 6 months, I'll be 30. And I'm still gonna have these thoughts that I'm like, I am not where I wanna be.
Yeah.
I just wanna take a step back and be like, yes, your ideals are so high. Of course you are not, but you actually are.
Yeah.
Like, in a different version, in a more realist version, you really are where you want to be.
Yeah.
And yeah, that girl, the girl, when we first met, she had no idea that she was actually taking me to somewhere that I can, I don't know, feel comfortable and a little bit proud right now.
Very proud right now. Not just a little, very proud.
True. Still, not in my ideals though.
Yeah.
My ideals are crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. And it will always be that way, but like to balance that and be like, yeah, maybe it's not picture perfect.
Yeah.
But it is so close. Yeah.
I also feel like there's this idea of you have to have it figured out by this age. You have to have it figured out by this age. The reality of it is we're all living our life for the very first time. And you're never going to have everything figured out. Even, like, we look at our parents as, like, superheroes. They're living their first life for the first time. They're living their life for the first time. And they still don't have it figured out. They're, they're still figuring it out as they go. I think it's, about having the patience with yourself and also having the awareness that we're all figuring it out and we're all experiencing things for the first time, and it doesn't matter what age you're at.
Judging less,
yes, exactly, judging less.
Living more, judging less.
Yes. Living. What is it? What is
Don't sing the Aussie song.
No, I'm not singing the Aussie song. Nobody get ideas.
Do you know who Aussie is now?
Ozzy is my child. I birthed him.
She birthed.
I did. He looks like me. He really does. No, but there was something I was gonna say. Now I do not remember.
It is fine.
It's fine. It's okay not to have it figured out. Okay. What fear or pressure do you want to lift off your shoulders? Okay. I feel like I kind of want to say like going back to like this perfectionist thing again, because I feel like I put a lot of pressure on myself to be a certain way, to have things figured out in a certain way, to be this at a certain age, to have this at a certain age, and I'm just starting to realize that there's no timeline. It's taken me a really long time to like get to that point, and I don't think I'm all the way there, but I think I'm getting there. But just like the pressure of, I mean, the same thing, like having things figured out. I think there's a lot of pressure, like when you get out of college, honestly from high school, like graduating high school,
correct college,
like going to getting the best degree that you can, like making sure that you're doing your best, and then also then going, like graduating and getting a job after that, and like pursuing the thing that you studied, and all this stuff. And like the reality of it is like life leads you in different directions. You might not always want to do the thing that you wanted to do when you first graduated from high school, and also I don't even know the point I'm trying to make. I just wanted to be perfect at everything. I wanted to be the best at everything. I wanted to be known for the thing I was doing. And
were you ever obsessed with like being the youngest at doing something?
Yes. Same. Age was a big thing.
Same. I'm studying abroad. I'm the youngest international student.
I'm the youngest.
I am the youngest in this job.
Yeah.
I am the youngest at this. And like I was so obsessed with that.
Yeah.
And life happened, and life like took me from that I'm the youngest at doing things to somewhere really, really back.
Yeah.
Really immediately. And I was like, I guess I need to enjoy that I am not the youngest anymore at this thing that I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And
and also age doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. There's like a lot of pressure.
It like this comes to you at, for some reason, late 20s, that it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And to just enjoy things a little bit more, and like do things that, don't do things out of, this has to become something, this has to be the thing that makes me the most successful, this has to be the thing that I'm going to be the best at and I'm going to make the most money. Do things because you enjoy them. You know, I feel like I'm a very creative person. I am very artistic in a lot of ways, and there's so much I do creatively that I am not sharing to the world, that are just for me to refill my cup, to energize me and stuff. So I think it's important, especially like anybody, but especially as like a creative person, to not always be trying to make whatever your creative endeavor is into something that's gonna like make you money necessarily,
or something that people are gonna clap on. Like,
what does that mean?
Like, that's congratulate you. Clapping.
Oh, I was like, that's so Gen Z of you to say clap.
Wait, what is that? Wait,
I don't know. I think you meant like.
You thought it was like something like Riz.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Showing my age right now.
No, it was not a Gen Z of me. It was a Turkish.
It was a Turkish. Oh. Okay. What instincts did she have that were so right even if no one else saw it?
Dump him!
Wait, what did you say?
Dump him.
Oh, dump him. Honestly?
If no one else saw it.
I just spilled.
Yeah, it's fine. It's white wine.
It's white wine.
I'll be fine. that were so right, even if no one else saw it. I don't know. So weirdly, maybe this is like a paradox to everything that I've ever said, but I had this like almost like a inner clock. It's not about getting pregnant, but like by this age, I will not be with this person that I'm dating right now.
Interesting. Was that when you were with?
Or by that person, by this age, I think I will get my like good paying job, or I don't know, by this age I think I will hear back from that fucking can I say fuck?
Yeah.
Fuck. Fucking immigration matter. Like I had this inner clock, and this is a little creepy. This has nothing to do with astrology, by the way. It's just an inner.
She's an astrologist, by the way.
Thing. Astrologer.
What's the astrologist?
It's wrong.
Oh, it's not a word.
I'll tell you about it later.
Okay. Look it up if you're interested.
But I don't know, like I knew that I was not going to end up with this person that, you know, that I had a long relationship with.
Yeah.
Like I had all these instincts that I didn't act on, but I feel like they were everything happened in the right time. Like I kind of believe in that, you know? Yeah. Things that I thought was not going to work out at some age by some year didn't work out during that time. And I think it's all fine.
Yeah.
It's all fine. It was very painful. Most of the things were very painful that needed to like happen before or end before. But weirdly, I don't know if you resonate with that, but the younger Ipek knew all that was gonna happen in some way.
Yeah.
In a certain age. But she was impatient, of course.
Yes. Okay, I relate to that. I feel like mine would be a similar answer in terms of like, you know, my breakup. Not that I knew ahead of time that this wasn't going to be something that worked, but like
it's more like an intuition, right?
Yeah, there was an intuition. There was a lot of questioning, and like I think deep down, like the questioning says a lot of like, and what I mean by questioning is like, is this going to work? Is it not going to work? Like, these are the things I need. If this doesn't happen, blah, 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 blah. And then also just feeling like if we did ever break up, that I was going to be so unhappy, that I wasn't going to be okay with this person. Like, I couldn't imagine living without this other person, which is so normal because, like, you're so wrapped up in each other's lives and you guys love each other. But at the same time, love isn't the thing, I don't think, that's going to, like, make you be compatible with someone.
Yeah.
So I think that... What was even the question?
We went really far from the question, but...
What instincts did she have that were so
right?
Even okay, so yeah, I think my instinct of like, this thing isn't gonna work anymore, even though I really wanted it to, and I was so like hopeful that things could work. I think, what am I trying to say? Ending it was the right decision. And I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, you trusted your instincts.
Yeah, trusting your instincts that like things were gonna work out and be okay, and that I wasn't gonna feel this horrible pain forever. Of like losing someone.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I don't know if that made any sense. Let us know in the comments.
Everything makes sense, right? Let us know in the comments.
Okay. What would you say to validate how hard she was trying?
Ooh, oh my girl. She was trying too hard. She was trying too hard. Yeah. Don't try that, no.
Give up.
No, don't
Just
give
kidding.
up, but
Don't give
also
up.
like try less.
Yeah.
I think this is something. This is like a few months ago. You told me, and like most of my other friends do say it too. Like, oh, I admire you. Like, I admire your dedication, your drive, your hard work. Like, I wouldn't be able to do the things that you overcome or did in such a young age, like moving across the country and dealing with all that other shit that happened in between. But yeah, it's just whatever I say to myself or to my younger self in this context is not enough. I would want to show her. Okay, in, I don't know, 2017, you did this. 2018, you graduated and moved to the US immediately. You had no plan and you made it through somehow. You found your first job in the fucking different country. And then this happened, and this happened. It's like the things that I do, I normalize it so much that anyone could have done it. Meanwhile, millions of people don't do it. But for me, living in my, I don't know, body, it's so hard to see that I'm already doing my best.
Yeah.
If not more.
100%. Yeah.
And like it's really hard for me to, therapy helps a lot, like talking to someone else about this constantly, of course, that makes me see that I'm already doing my best and accomplished a lot of things that, you know, an average person probably didn't.
Yeah.
Before even turning 30. But like what I want to say is like, the question says, what would you say to validate how hard she was trying? There's nothing I can say.
Yeah.
I just need to show her.
Okay, this is like something that keeps coming back to my head, and I like want to think of something new, but I can't, so I'm just gonna say this. Is when I'm thinking of like my high school self, and like I always was trying to act the way that I thought I should act, and I feel like I wasn't being like authentic to myself, and I wasn't living and doing things that I believed in. I was doing them and living in this way to be accepted by the people around me. And I think I would tell that version of myself, like, just be you. Like, don't think, and this is so, it is cliche, but like, don't overthink about what everybody else is doing around you. Don't overthink in general, but like don't do things that like don't make you feel good. Yeah. Like you don't have to fit into like this certain box because all of your friends are fitting into this. Like just be you, and people will flock to you because they like you, because you are being authentic to yourself. And I feel like I was just trying to force this image of how I thought I was supposed to be, and I just like it made me unhappy, and it made me it made me do things that like I wasn't doing because I really wanted to, you know. So I think that's I would tell my younger self that
she probably learned a lot through that too, though.
She probably did learn a lot through that, but I would also tell her like, hey, you don't have to do this thing if you don't want to do the thing. You know, you're not gonna be missing out on anything. You're not gonna be not cool. Your friends aren't gonna not like you because you don't do this thing. So yeah. Okay. What part of her heart are you proud she kept open even when things hurt?
Ooh. Faith. Hope. I don't know. That's like, I always kept going. Whatever happened, I was always like, yeah, it's hurting right now, but I'm not just gonna stay in my room and cry.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna feel it all, but I'm also gonna do something, be proactive, and keep going, because I know that this is not it. There's always better, that there's always something better, that I can make it better, that I can make my life better. I think it's the hope, like definitely just believing that there are better options. This is only one way of living, and I can try other ways.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go with the same answer. I know that's not creative of me, but I would say like the same thing too, because
Hope.
Hope, because I think there have been some times in my life where I have felt like everything is ending and like nothing is gonna be good again, and
Classic.
Yeah, literally classic. Everything sucks. No. But there have been times in my life where I just felt like, how am I ever gonna possibly be happy again? Like, this is the worst possible thing that could ever happen. Like, nothing is gonna be the same again. Nothing's gonna feel good again. And I'm specifically thinking of like when my brother died and when my dad died, and just thinking like how horrible this is, and just like not knowing, like being so deep in my grief and not knowing how I could possibly ever be out of this again. And hope is like what got me through that, hoping that things will eventually feel
better.
Feel okay again. There will be a new normal again, and not everything is going to be horrible and shitty. Obviously this thing that I have to learn to live with is going to be shitty, but it's something you learn to live with, and it doesn't mean that life is going to be horrible again. And I think a big part of that is just like having faith and like hope, and knowing that eventually things will be okay again, even if it's in a different way. You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks to Hope.
Thank you, Hope. What patterns or people would you gently guide her away from? Interesting.
That's so funny. Wow. Patterns. People, we like you know a bunch of them that I would gently guide her away from. Would I immediately know? Earlier, I would.
Yeah.
But the pattern, let's get into that thing. This is again like the unavailability in people I date. It's a really old pattern. Like, it's just this, person, this little girl is trying to make something right and keeps getting attracted to these people who are very different from each other.
Yeah.
But they have the same pattern. In some way, they're available. Right? One of them lives in fucking Patagonia. The other one is, I don't know, again, just not looking for a serious relationship, blah, blah. Somehow they are unavailable. They love you. They act like, at least, they say that they love you. And there's this, I don't know, I feel like a part of me is trying to make it right by first ignoring this and being like, I'm totally fine with this.
Yeah.
The second one is like, no, denying it. It's totally fine. Like, I do not need, like, they're not unavailable. They're fine. But like, it's constantly trying to solve a problem that, a little Ipek was facing. Classic. But this is a pattern that I've been trying to just be cautious more, either like escaping from or like ignoring, denying it, just observe it and like set boundaries with it, because I know that it's here to stay.
Yeah.
It will stay here.
You have to remind yourself.
The
I
pattern,
don't want to do this anymore.
exactly, in dating life, that's the pattern that I've been thinking about a lot. But the people I would like, friendship wise, I don't think I've ever had a friend that like I would go back and tell my younger self to stay away from them. No.
Yeah.
It's like I think they're all very like such learning experiences. All friendships are valuable.
So are relationships too. But yeah, I
True.
see. But making the same repeating the same patterns in relationships.
Exactly. Yeah. For some reason, in friendships, it's easier to avoid it.
Yeah.
Right? To be like, okay, this person reminds me of this person, so let me just stay away.
Yeah.
But in like romantic relationships, it's a little bit harder too, because I don't know. It's more unclear. There's more hope of like, maybe this time I can change it.
Yeah.
But it's not going to change. It's just,
yeah.
The people are not going to change, but you can change the pattern.
Mm-hmm. I am very much a caretaker.
She is.
And I feel like I always want to fix people.
I can fix him. No.
I can fix it. Exactly.
I am like that too.
And you know what? You can't always fix someone. Not that there's anything wrong with people. That's the thing. There's nothing wrong with the other person. It's just that they're learning at their own pace and you're learning at your own pace, and like the things you know versus another person, you know. That probably didn't make any sense, but I would say
it made perfect sense to me. But I think it comes from like the hope that we were talking about too.
Yeah,
like
totally wishful thinking.
Yeah.
I think we're both very optimistic most of the time. Sometimes you're not.
Sometimes I'm really pessimistic.
Sometimes you're like,
before my period.
I'm done.
I'm moving
Nothing's
out.
Gonna ever work.
I'm moving away.
I'm going back to Turkey.
I'm going to, I don't know, Colombia for some reason, like going somewhere.
And I'll be like, you said this literally last month.
Last month, exactly. During your period.
Like, don't worry, things are going to get better again. Okay. How would you describe the kind of love she actually deserves?
Oof. So good. Such a good question again. She actually deserves. I think she deserves to. I keep saying safe. I shouldn't really.
No, but that's
keep
true.
Saying that. But love doesn't sound like. Love is not something you should constantly trying to validate actions.
Yeah.
Right? Because I feel like I do it a lot, and like not with that specific person from years ago now. Thank God, years ago. But
you're proud.
Like every other partner I do I really am very empathetic. Like I do feel them.
Yeah.
Whatever actions they're taking, I do see the reasons behind it. And I feel it's true. And it's not necessarily, this fantasy world that I'm in, that I'm like, oh, they do this in this, fantastical way that I like think that is real. No, I do see why people do things, but I feel like most of the time it's not something I need necessarily. And I think she deserves a love that she can feel safe and be herself, and she doesn't need to find excuses for other people's ways of making her feel unsafe and I don't know, insecure. It can be insecurity because like I do, and we all have our own insecurities.
Of course.
But I think in a really good relationship, I'm not an insecure person. I'm not a jealous person at all until there is something that is fishy.
Yeah.
Like, I do trust myself about that, and I think, like, the safety, of course, like, from other, like, spectrum to, like, literally feeling unsafe in a relationship is something I felt and experienced, like, physically feeling unsafe.
Yeah.
Is something I have experienced in the past. Thankfully. But the other forms of it too is she deserves to be safe and comfortable, but she loves a little adventure.
So she likes a little crazy.
She likes a little adventure too.
But a safe adventure.
Safe adventure, exactly. Put your helmet on.
Yes. Put that emotional helmet on. Put
the condoms.
You don't have kids.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, I'm proud of you. I feel like you have definitely, like, grown a lot and will not tolerate things that you used to tolerate.
That's one thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's powerful.
True. I don't take anyone's shit anymore.
You do not, and I look up to you in that way.
No,
really do. I feel like little Kyla deserves a love where she's not questioning so much, specifically, like, how much someone loves her, or if they really want her. I feel like in past relationships, and even my younger self, like, even my relationship with my dad, I think it goes back to...
always does.
Yeah, seriously.
Come on, Freud.
Yeah. Just feeling like I was never enough in a relationship, or I was too much in a relationship, or feeling like my own needs were just too much for someone else, and they were never gonna, like, love me
for asking for more, or like asking for what you need.
Asking for what I need. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Yep.
Okay. What lesson took time to learn, but you're grateful she eventually did? I feel like we kind of answered that already.
Yeah. I think the accumulation of everything that I said, what lesson took time to learn.
Okay, let's go to the next one then. What do you wish you had said to her at a moment she really needed someone?
Reach out to them. Because I have tendency to figure, like I already said that, figure everything on my own, and I'm scared of feeling needy. Just, if you need help, just reach out to someone. And the help I need generally is not something, I don't know how to say it, but more, I don't know, like solid things, you know, like I don't know, I need you to help me fix this or something. It's generally emotional support. And I haven't been doing that before, like since last year maybe. That sometimes, like, we're social creatures. We do, like, in order to survive the evolutionary, like, history, we do need each other. And I didn't really realize that most of my life, that I had to figure everything on my own. And
it's okay to ask for help.
It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for support. It's okay to, like, it's not okay. It's like you need that. You need people around you. You need a community. You need good friends. And also, like, one good friend is not enough either. You do need a community. Like, we're communal creatures. Like,
oh my God, totally.
Yeah, just she learned her lesson. She's fine.
She's fine. She's good now.
She's good now.
I think I wish that I would have told my younger self that, well, there's two things. One, what was I gonna say? Okay, one is to, like, be more forgiving towards people, because I feel like I blamed my dad for a lot of stuff when maybe he wasn't doing the best, and then I missed an opportunity with him to, like, I missed my opportunity to, like, be very close to him before he died, because I was holding so much anger towards him. And, like, the reality is you never know what's going to happen in the world. You don't know when you're going to, like, lose someone, and it's important to not hold grudges because they're small in the scheme of things. So that would be one. And I did have another one that I can't remember the other one I was thinking.
Okay.
But
maybe
forgiveness. Yeah, forgiveness.
Forgiveness.
What would you thank her for, even if she thought she was failing?
Thanks for trying. Thanks for keep trying. She kept trying. Yeah.
I would say thank you for putting yourself out there and continuing to put yourself out there, even if you don't feel like, even if you feel like you're not where you thought you would be or where you want to be. Like, thank you for continuing to try, because you're doing the thing because it's for you and not anybody else. So thank you for continuing to put yourself out there, especially with this podcast, honestly. Okay, what would you, what grief, or, and this is the last question, what grief or guilt can you help her release now that you see the bigger picture?
Guilt or grief? Maybe this, like, goes even further, like, little Ipek. I think I had grief and guilt for things that I didn't even do in a younger age, because my parents got divorced when I was really young, and when you're that young, you're the center of the world, and you think that everything is happening because of you. And most of the, I think, guilt and grief that comes even, like, takes me to my decisions right now, and everything that I'm struggling even right now as an almost 30-year-old woman comes from that. And it's like, it was not because of you.
Yeah.
It was not yours to deal with from the beginning. Definitely making her release that. Yeah. And most of the things, I feel like I don't know. I was that child that everyone said, oh, she's so mature, such a mature child.
Old soul.
Such an old soul. No, it's not normal. I should be playing outside without thinking about these things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's still working on it, like, releasing that. And it's so funny because when you're in your early 20s or even in high school, it's not that far, right? It's like, feels like it happened a few years ago.
Yeah.
But now when you're in your late 20s, it's so far and you bury it even more.
Yeah.
So going back to that and realizing that most of the things that is ruling your life right now, it's just literally because of that, is a little creepy.
I feel like I would release the pressure I put on myself, because I think that has been like a through line throughout so many parts of my life, where whether it's being like trying to be the perfect like daughter, not being too anxious and stressed about things that upset me, trying to be perfect in school and like the smartest, and like trying the very best, and like even in work and things like that, like just releasing all the pressure and like this idea of being perfect, and kind of letting the imperfect be the thing that like maybe is a little bit more perfect. I don't even know if that makes sense. But just like releasing the pressure and allowing myself to like be more in the present, and not worrying so much about like what is gonna be or isn't gonna be, and just going with the flow of things more.
A little bit more.
Yeah.
Same.
All right, well, this was fun. I like this.
That was fun. It was deep.
Yeah.
It was raw.
So tune in for next week when we do a letter to our future selves. Thank you so much for listening. I always really appreciate it, and I hope this episode resonated with you guys. I'd be curious if you guys ask yourself some of the questions that we asked ourselves tonight. Let us know what your answers are. Do you relate to anything? Do you not relate to anything? What would your own answers be? Okay. Let's just go call to action. Okay. Anyways, thank you once again for listening and tuning in. It means the world. Please remember to rate, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the episode. Follow me on my personal Instagram, which is Kyla_Milleberger. Follow me on the podcast Instagram, which is the_bettertogether_podcast. And send in questions, comments, stories, whatever you want, to thebettertogetherpod@gmail.com. I hope you enjoyed my lovely...
That hurt.
Cute... I know, I felt that. I was like, fuck, that sounded like hurt. I hope you guys liked Ipek.
I'll see you next week.
I'll see you next week. She'll see you next week. I'm going to link all of her stuff below as well. She does astrology. You should go check her out.
Not an astrologist, though.
Not an astrologist.
Astrologer.
Which she's going to explain later to me. Anyways, we love you. Mwah. And we'll see you next Sunday.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.